house, Mr. T. We might ask where Jayden de. Oh, me a picking up. Where the boy? Oh, me not see him. We not see him.
We're going to set up on the screen, guys. Bless.
At that time of the evening, yeah.
Bless.
I go on Tiger. To me change my account, man.
Where are we?
There.
What's interview here, guys?
We just not try to draw your attention to the interview where Anne was talking about mothers, saying that she went to mothers.
I'm gonna get off now. I cannot say where he is at, but for me personally, I'm thinking once he hit Kurt Road, I'm just thinking outside the box again. Him walking out in the rain, going to Kurt Road, I'm thinking did somebody see him walking in the rain and offer him a ride, and then that's something else happened. So that's what I am thinking.
Before I go further, two things. If you were supposed to think, say, one of these things happened to him, which one would it? You think, say, he...
Well, I initially...
And he home, like, he will say, all right, he run off and he run away, or you think, say, somebody maybe take him away?
I think that somebody take Jayden. Almost 3 weeks now, mathematics is not... It cannot be that he ran away on his own and not being seen. It cannot be that somebody has him that is saying, taking care of him, because at this point it would be considered kidnapping. Because it is an investigation. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, but how the media spin it, and listening to you, because when I first started coming onto this situation was Sunday, and then listening to Grandma, right? What I said Sunday was that chances are, right? The chance that the family now have nothing to do with this, and at this point, I don't rule out anything because there are still. I have not seen any evidence to say this or this. But me, I said chances are the family not have nothing to do with it. And somebody see the situation, see where it is leading, and was taking advantage of the situation because everything is being pointed at the family. So there is no true investigation from my understanding of things so far being happening wherein other mediums are being questioned or they're running down other leads.
Right.
So from your understanding, Grandma, right? You like a house, especially when it comes to Mandeville, they have camera, they have ring light, they have this, they have that. Have the police gone? Because we are getting some information. The police gone to country and question any of the individual here from the 26th of September. Every single day. When you started it at Port Drive, I was one day he said that she thought Jayden morning after 9. But we asked, one said the camera was not working, the next. The gentleman was not home. When he came home, somebody was in the group searching with us. She called the gentleman, and the gentleman said that when he comes home, he will run his camera. The morning when he called, the lady that said that she saw Jayden, she changed the time from 9 to 8:30. So he said when he looked at his camera, was that a Friday morning or Saturday morning?
I think it no man. No, it was a Tuesday. So she said she saw him this morning.
Claimed she saw him.
My husband cooked the morning when he went up back and give Jayden cooked food to go to school. Can't think, oh yeah, the baby drop, yes, they're going to be blamed. At no point in time I have my messages from my mom. At no point in time did I say where Jayden really do. She simply said he was staying, again, they were in 2 separate rooms. So my mom was in her bedroom, Jayden and the baby was in the living room playing. So she just heard the crying and then just rushed to him.
So it was Jayden and the baby alone in the living room?
In the living room, correct.
So who is there to say that when the baby jumped, Jayden dodged?
Who can say that?
Listen. See, here's the auntie.
Who is that? Damar?
Yes,
It is me, Shadi.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Grandma.
Right. So, I have it up to my neck. Right now, I have it up to my neck. You see, whatever all the persons are saying, as Kamisha said, there's no evidence of what persons are saying. Zaire and Jayden alone was in the living room. I was in my bedroom at the time. When I heard the baby cry, I thought he was laughing. So I didn't pay it any mind. But when I hear him scream out again, I rushed to the living room and I pick him up. I saw him on the floor. Honestly, I couldn't tell you that Jayden was behind Zaire, sideways Zaire, because I was frightened when I saw the baby on the ground in pain.
So when you rushed the baby, hold on, mommy, when you rushed into the room, where was Jayden?
She just
As I said, I couldn't tell because I was so frightened when I saw the baby on the ground screaming in pain. I couldn't tell if Jayden was left, right, or center. I only grabbed up the baby and I rushed to my room with the baby. When I tried.
Well, based on your recollection of things, right? Okay, you grab up the baby, right? You heard the cry first, and you thought it was a laugh. Then when you hear the phone again, the pain,
Yo,
then you rush
to the mathematics.
When you rush to the living room, you pick up the baby. After you
listen, hello, me I'm mute your mommy. Hello, me take you down our pilot. Hold on, hello, me ignorant, body no my friend. Make the lady talk, you can't talk here, make she talk.
Make she talk first, then I ask.
No, I mean,
alright, so
can't go on and ask the question. We're really here, as much as they've been heard hearing that, we're not having our presence on social media, and it's simply because of the fact that we have been getting so much backlash and we don't feel to come out and say anything because nobody's believing what we're saying. So we're here to answer the questions because we're finally here. When Kami came out first, I was like, if they're not aggressive at you, then I'll come. But I'm not here for our family is not a confrontational family, and nobody can ever say that we ever in a fight or cause with anybody. That's not us. So Mathematics can go ahead and ask the question that she was trying to get to mommy so that she can actually answer, because that is what we're here for.
No, she had tell the lady that she go in the room. You have to make the lady talk for herself.
No, she wasn't saying that. She was just trying to create the situation and try to figure out what happened next. So I understand it. I'm okay with her asking the question because that is what we are here for.
Okay, so can I go ahead now?
Narcos, hold on, mommy. Alright, go ahead, mommy.
Right. So as I was saying, when I came out and saw Zaire crying, as I said, I couldn't tell whether Jayden was at the back or the front or the side of Zaire. I saw the baby on the ground, crunching to his leg or holding on to his leg and screaming like hell. So I pick him up. And when I pick him up, I realized that he's crying even more. So I rushed to my room with him and put him on the bed. When I tried to put him down, I realized he was screaming even more. I even said to myself, I wonder if he'll break him back. I called to Jayden from my room and said, Jayden, what happened to Zaire? Jayden repeated to me and said, Auntie Paula, Zaire fell and hit his leg. I called to my husband immediately and I said to him, something happened to Zaire and I don't know how serious it is and we need to rush him to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, that is when I called my daughter to let her know that something happened to Zaire. I even took the picture of Zaire's leg in the car and sent it to my daughter. Zaire's leg was also on Jayden's foot because Zaire, me and Jayden was at the back of the car. You understand? When I went to the hospital, I went to Hargreaves first. The justice I got at Hargreaves, I was not satisfied. So we left with the letter to go to Mandeville. I was there until Minister 12 before Zaire name called for me to go back inside. I called how many times? I said, imagine. It's a baby and the
That
baby
was just
is
to be registered, not to be seen, just registered.
Not to be seen, enough to be registered after 12. I called to a late.
The way all the hyena said, look like she was there. If me never know better, but I said the hyena was there because she said it's not to be seen, it's to be registered. So I wonder if she was there when that happened.
Who was at the customer care desk, and I said to her, so we left with the letter to go to Mandeville. I was there until Minister 12 before Zaire name called for me to go back inside. I called how many times? I said, imagine. It's a baby and the
That
baby
was just
is
to be
out
registered,
here.
not to be seen, just registered.
Not to be seen, enough to be registered after 12. I called to a lady who was at the customer care desk, and I said to her, imagine I am here from Hargreaves with a letter with the baby and nobody seeing the baby. She turned to me and said, this is not a baby hospital. Can you imagine that? And the baby was in pain. She turned to me and said, this is not a baby hospital. And I could not move. I want to use the bathroom and I could not move.
See, and this is what I am saying. These are the things that I personally don't understand. These bits here, I don't understand it. And I think they are telling us some information that we don't need to know, and they are bullshit information. Because I am sure she and her husband was there. So if you and your husband is in the hospital with the baby and you want to use the bathroom and you can't use the bathroom, what is the reason for your husband to be there? Why am not go home?
Like I make a use it again thanks to account them to the exact video here. I'll jump and get your two account to the exact video here.
Yeah, that's the same one. You just need to go forward. That's the same one. That's the same interview. It just further up. So I'm just gonna listen, go up into it.
At 5 the next morning when they said after we got through, we get inside and they sent me to do an x-ray because when the doctor saw Zaire, she said to me, this is not looking good. She said, bring him into the room that we examine. When she pulled the baby pampers, she called a next doctor and said, it seems like the baby broke some bone. And she write up the x-ray paper immediately and she sent me to the x-ray. It was me and my husband that was there because my husband was still there with me.
So this is what I am saying. You hear what you just said? Remember now, she has not catch breath from what she said like a minute ago. She hasn't catch breath yet. So it's not like I said, oh, it's a different part of interview. It's the same interview. And now she's telling us it was she and her husband there. So I don't understand why you're there with your husband and you cannot
Go relieve yourself.
It don't make no sense.
Just in order.
It don't make any sense. So what happened? They are giving us information like they're trying to force it in our head. But they don't know. They are cracking information that they don't need to chat, and they're putting themselves out there to show how guilty they are. But if me, if I try to convince you, and I tell you go so hard to convince you, when if me I tell you the truth, you don't need to convince me, I tell you the truth, and it's the truth.
And she was the one that took the baby. Jayden and Demar was in the car on the outside of the hospital sleeping. So they went with you? Yes, all of them went with me. Because normally when we go...
See, and this is what I'm saying to you. KT, you back your microphone. And this is what I'm trying to say to you, right? This is what I'm trying to say. This is oversharing is their problem, and they don't seem to realize that. If you're asking me, where is Jayden and them are? Oh, they was in the car. They was in the car sleeping. Like you lot are emphasizing on the wrong things too much.
No, we don't leave anybody. And he was the one who took the baby. Jayden and Demar was in the car on the outside of the hospital sleeping.
So they went with you? Okay.
Yes, all of them went with me. Because normally when we go out, we don't leave anybody.
Okay, good.
And we went to the x-ray, we get...
Alright, listen to that, people. I don't know if I'm wrong, I don't know if you tell me something wrong. She just said normally when they're going out, they don't leave anyone. Correct? No, she has not seen Jayden. She had not seen Jayden since Thursday night. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Say 11 o'clock Thursday night. She haven't seen Jayden. No, this is the next evening, Friday evening. You still haven't seen Jayden. And you're telling me you don't think right